So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some must-have apps for your modded / jailbroken PlayStation Vita. If you followed my tutorial, you already have these apps installed. It was part of my instructions throughout the jailbreaking process. But if you don't have these installed, no worries, I'll put links to the VPK files in the description below. And if you haven't modded or jailbroken your PlayStation Vita just yet, what are you waiting for? If you need instructions on how to do it, I'll put a link to my tutorial in the description below as well. So let's get right into it with the first must-have app for your freshly modded PlayStation Vita, and that's VitaShell. VitaShell is essentially the de facto file manager for any jailbroken PlayStation Vita. Most modding tutorials out there have you install VitaShell as part of the process, so I'm not going to go into great detail because I'm 99% sure that most of you already have this installed and know how to use it. But a brief overview, it lets you move files around, copy, paste, and even install VPK files directly from the file browser. Another important feature is it allows you to connect your PlayStation Vita to a PC as a USB device, completely bypassing the file manager that came with the stock PS Vita. Extremely important tool and a must-have for any modded Vita. Up next is Vita DB Downloader. The DB Downloader is basically a homebrew browser. There's homebrew, emulators, utilities, and all kind of tools that you can download at the push of a button and install directly onto your Vita. There's a lot of great stuff on here and it gets updated pretty regularly. Almost all of the homebrew and emulation I have on my modded Vita, I got from the DB Downloader. Now in some instances, you'll be able to download the install files, but you have to get the game files from somewhere else. This is often the case with, of course, emulators. You're not going to be able to download ROMs off of here, but also the various ports that exist, like ports of Android games or games off of Steam. You got to get the game files from some other means, but the install files you should be able to find on here. A tremendous resource and an absolute must-have. Up next, we have Adrenaline. Adrenaline basically makes your Vita a dual boot console and fully unlocks its PSP emulation potential. With Adrenaline, you can turn your Vita into a fully functioning PSP at the push of a button. As soon as you launch it, it boots up the way a PSP would, and you have full access to any of the features that you would on a standard PSP. Not only does it play PSP games really well, it gives you access to a ton of additional settings that allows you to assign certain inputs to the touchpad, the touchscreen, or even the right joystick. Like right here, I converted the right stick into the face buttons, so you can actually use both analog sticks while playing some of the awesome shooters that came out for the PlayStation Portable. Absolute must-have and one of the best features of having a modded PlayStation Vita. Up next is PKGJ. This is without question the most divisive app that exists for modded PlayStation Vitas. Essentially what this thing is the free shop, giving you access to almost every Vita game, a ton of PSP games, and a very solid selection of PlayStation 1 games. This is a perfect tool for installing digital backups of your physical PlayStation Vita games. Can it be used for piracy? Yes. Should it be used for piracy? That depends on who you ask. I noticed the community is pretty split. Half say, hell no, piracy in any way, shape, or form is bad. The other half say it's Sony's own damn fault for not supporting the Vita. I don't really have a dog in that fight. I personally don't use it for piracy, but far be it from me to condemn anyone that does. It's not my place to tell someone what to do with something that they paid money for. The last one on my list isn't really so much of a must-have, but I think it's a really good one to have, and it is the Custom Themes Manager. What this app does is allow you to search, download, install, and manage lots of custom themes that are out there. You can really make your Vita your own and change things around. So that's my list for some must-have apps for a freshly modded PlayStation Vita. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. There's so much out there. The community is so strong for the Vita. Hopefully this opens the floodgates and leads you guys down the path to discovering the wonderful world of jailbroken Vitas. If you guys find any apps that you feel is a must-have for a modded PlayStation Vita, let me know in the comment section. There might be something I'm not aware of. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.